Every once in a while, a teacher will fall in a rut, and it becomes just a paycheck. You forgot the reason. You forgot your why in life, more or less. You forgot the reason why you do something, and that was me. Indigenous, si Calvin Stevens, gaganamoy Eskasoni Immersion School, gaganamoy phys ed, gaganamoy culture, gaganamoy ni computer alt. So when I got here, I told them, heads up, I have no idea what I'm doing. I can speak the language. I've never taught phys ed in my life. I never learned anything about my own culture. So I don't know how you expect me to teach young kids their own culture when I don't know anything about my own culture. Because growing up, that wasn't a big thing in the education system. We didn't value our own culture. We were taught that the more you learned English and the more you mastered the English system, the more successful you were going to be. So I grew up with that system. I was basically floating from day to day, trying to figure out what I was going to do the next day. I had a lot of help from our principal, Ida, and Doreen Stevens, our counselor here. They called in experts from the community and from different places, and they gave me PD days where this person would come in and teach my class for me over days or for over weeks. And while they were teaching my class, I was an active participant in being a student too and learning. I was starting to gain interest, so it was like university again. I was relearning to love myself and love my culture, and I was using that as inspiration, and that's where I found my why again. And I was like, man, I get paid to do this, to have fun, to play games with kids all day and use the language and learn about my own self and my own culture, and then try to pass it on to these kids, and they move forward with their culture and doing it in a fun environment and in a fun way. And so it sticks with them, because you can't learn something if it's not meaningful and if it's not fun. You know? So that's where I found my why.
When la
We're teaching a whole new generation of kids their own language. First of all, we're teaching them to love who they are and to be proud of who they are. And so when I went to high school, I had that baggage of me. I didn't have love myself. I loved other cultures. Like I was telling you earlier, Fresh Prince of Bel-Air was our idol. That's who we wanted to be, walking around the hallways, acting like him, walking like him. And so we have kids today where they're proud of who they are outside, rather than playing like they're Fresh Prince of Bel-Air or somebody who ever is a pop star now, you know, Justin Bieber. They're pretending to grass dance outside, and it's fulfilling, and it puts a smile on your face, and that's your why. This kid's pretending to be who they are, and so imagine what they're going to do and what they're going to accomplish if they move on ahead in high school and into university, and what they can accomplish without that baggage that we had as children. when I go into a classroom, they say, "Super Stevens," and you know, when they want my attention and they do something on their own, and when I give them control of the classroom and they start singing themselves and doing the dance themselves, I mean, that's my why.
Get me there, money.
It's what they are. Like, they need to speak, be able to speak Mi'kmaq because they're Mi'kmaq. I was in a class one time. It was one of the regular classes, and I asked children, "What do they speak in Germany?" And everybody yelled out German. "What do they speak in China?" "They speak Chinese." I said, "What do they speak in Mi'kmaq?" Everything quiet down. I said, "No, we need to speak Mi'kmaq in our schools and in our community, because more and more children speak English, and it will die out if we don't do something now, not wait any more longer." This is why I'm here. When I decided to go into teaching, this is where I wanted to be, and it finally came about. But all this time, this is what I was working towards, to see a program that'll be all in Mi'kmaq, and here we are. I went to evaluate one teacher one time, and this little girl, they were told to write something. So she wrote in English, a whole page. "Hey," I said, "Teacher told you to write in Mi'kmaq." Well, she said, "Oh, I'm going to erase it." She erased it all off. I said, "You could have just flipped it over." But no, she erased it all off. And she wrote the same thing, a full page of it, all in Mi'kmaq. I was so amazed. For her to do that in a few seconds, that amazed me. Because I know that we've had core Mi'kmaq languages in the schools, at the other school, but they're very limited in what they're doing. But in the immersion program, like one little girl, I told her, "You're going to be a reporter." That's how much she wrote. Like in 20 minutes, she wrote like 7 pages, 7 full pages. My biggest regret with this immersion program is my children outgrew where they could have started. My own children. I often said, if I was taught in Mi'kmaq, or if our community was taught in Mi'kmaq, we would have had more doctors and lawyers. First we had to filter out the English.
Today we're having a community event. It's called Our Eskasoni, Eskasoni. So this year our theme is strengthening our language. As the largest Mi'kmaq community, 4,500 plus people, we have, this is a fluent community. But just recently with our studies we've been doing for the past several years, we realized that our language is starting to diminish. Our young people are not speaking Mi'kmaq, and it's a concern the elders have. Under the age of 40, only 35% speaks Mi'kmaq in this community. It's a big concern for us. We have all types of resources. We have we have immersion school. We have Mi'kmaq speaking teachers. So we have a good chunk of speak Mi'kmaq. We have the resources here. It's just the culture, the environment today, social media, and it's just the environment is totally different compared in the 80s and 90s. When I was younger, everybody spoke Mi'kmaq, but that has changed in the 90s when technology came in, and that has been affecting how we speak. It's really fun when we speak our language. It's always ongoing learning, even myself. I'm continuing learning about Mi'kmaq, about words, about place names, and those type of things that happened in the past. It's amazing. Our language is amazing. It's ancient. It's over 10,000 years old, and I'm proud. I speak that language. It's still in my blood. That's why I'm really, really proud. I still speak this ancient language. Now I have to do my due diligence as a leader of this community to protect that and to preserve it and to promote it. I need help from my community, from my elders, our teachers, everyone, all the knowledge holders and the key people in this community to revitalize. And I think once we shake the tree, it'll strengthen our language again.